G'day, Daniel here from Living Entertainment North Coast, and beside me here I have a brand new product from Meze Audio. Now Meze are obviously very well known for their 99 Classics range as well as their high-end Empyrean and Elite headphone series. But what if I was to tell you that they have a new headphone that allows you to take that high-end audio experience on the road? Let's talk about it. That's right, so in this box here is the Meze Audio Liric Isodynamic headphones. These are a brand new closed back headphone courtesy of Meze Audio, and well, really, before I start talking about it, I should probably actually unbox these and have a look at them, so let's get into it. So as they say, first impressions are everything, and straight out of the gate, like Meze, I think, have really knocked that out of the park. You got this beautiful outer box which has the feeling of like a Marconi Union album cover or any other number of like semi-ambient artists. It just has that fog and mystique about it, which I really, really enjoy. And obviously the fact that it's in grayscale, much like the headphones being black, it's pretty damn cool. And then of course you have the case inside that, which isn't the headphone case, but it's just like a neat little, I don't know, protective case for transit. But you've got this beautiful embossed logo on the front with like a vinyl finish on there, and it feels premium. But unlike Meze's higher end premium headphones, you don't have this bulkiness to it. This doesn't feel like something you open up and you just want to put in a room and leave there. This kind of sets the tone that, hey, you're about to open something special, something that you can take with you. And yeah, so that definitely got me excited, but there's still more to go. Next up is the carry case itself, which is an interesting thing to talk about because really it's a carry case, right? It's not all that interesting, but these are expensive headphones and you want to make sure they're protected, and this feels like a good, strong case. Like it's, you know, hard to push this in. It feels very, very secure. But it's also got those nice touches that Meze are known for, much like on their classic range. You get this nice little badge on the front, which is quite a bit bigger than it is on those particular headphones. And it has like a really nice vinyl finish, which feels quite nice to the touch. So it's a nice mix of, I guess, sturdiness, but still feeling pretty classy, which is a nice combination and not easy to achieve, generally speaking. Now, in terms of size, the new Liric carry case is quite a bit larger than the old Meze Classic case. I'd say it's probably about a third bigger, so it's not huge, but you know, the shape you can tell is obviously a bit more structural, like in terms of integrity. It's built on triangles instead of wrapping itself around the actual headband. And yeah, it's just to actually squeeze it, it does feel like it's stronger and more protected. And you know, if you're gonna make me choose between structural integrity and size, especially for headphones of this price, I'm going with structural integrity all the way. You know, I don't think you could say that this is an inconvenient size, put it that way. Now, in terms of accessories, we've got a lot of what we would normally expect from a Meze product, at least what you would expect from the classic range. You get a pouch, which this time is an actual pouch shape instead of a round cylinder like the previous ones do. So it's kind of like a nice halfway point between the Empyrean range and the classics. And again, it's a vinyl and it feels quite nice. Then, just like the 99 Classics, you get two different cable lengths. We have a 3-meter cable and a 1.5 meter cable. So one of those obviously ideal for close systems like your phone, portable DAC, laptop. And for those of you who want to listen at a hi-fi system, well, now you can chill on your couch, no problems. Speaking of which, you also get the standard 6.3mm headphone adapter. Lastly, these headphones come with a airplane adapter. So again, really pushing that portable factor. Meze wants you to know as soon as you open this up, these are headphones for the road and they want you to take these places. So if anything screams that to me, it's this connector here. Now, one final thing to talk about before I get to the headphones themselves is this cable. Now, you might look at this and realize that this is the exact same cable structure as what the Meze Classic range uses, not what the Empyreans and the Elites use, which is a form of mini XLR. This is basically it's a little 3.5 mil jack, one for each channel. So that's kind of interesting in the fact that, again, it's the same system that the Classic range uses. But there's a massive upside to that, and that's that you can use the 99 balanced cables. So I've done a previous video on the Meze Classics and the Meze Neos. I can tell you right now, I love what that balanced cable can do for the sound. And the fact that you can plug that into the new Lyric headphones straight away without any sort of modifications needed, that's pretty damn sweet. So if you want that balanced audio experience, you can still get that out of the box. You just have to order a separate cable. And so finally, the main event, we have the Meze Liric headphones themselves. And if there's one thing I really want to say about these off the bat, it's that these are so damn comfortable. First of all, there are some elements you'll recognize on these headphones from the Empyrean range, and second of all, there are some elements you will recognize from the Classic range. The Empyrean range, you can find their design elements inspired not just in the sound drivers themselves, which is a very complicated topic for another video, but the actual framework that holds these earpieces in place is very, very similar to the Empyreans. And it's just, they're incredibly flexible. Like, you can really twist things around and they just smoothly glide. Like, it just feels good to play with, which is a weird sort of thing to say, but that's the reality of it. Now, something else that's carried over from the Empyrean range is, unlike the Classics where you can swap the left and right around based entirely on the headphone cable itself, the Lyric here has a set left and right, and that's actually written here on the back of the earpieces. So the left and right will actually be facing backwards when you put these things on. Super, super easy. You don't have to look hard for these, which is good because there are a lot of headphones out there where every time I put them on, I really have to concentrate to try to find which way they're supposed to go on. So the fact these are so easy is great. The ear pads themselves are incredibly soft and comfortable. And the headband itself, out of the box, I did notice it more than I was expecting, but I've only been wearing it for a couple of hours and already it's kind of softened up enough to be not noticeable. So, you know, that's really awesome. There's no real point where I feel like the weight is weighing down on my head. It all feels quite comfortable. And there's something else that's really nice about these is they have just enough clamp force to muffle out the sound around me. It's not a tight clamp force at all, but it's enough to really kind of like mask things going on around me, such as the air conditioner. So yeah, all in all, these feel insanely comfortable, which again, portable headphones, if you're traveling, there's a good chance you're going to be wearing these for long periods at a time. So that comfort is kind of really important. Now for the actual specs of these headphones, I'm going to be keeping things particularly light for this video, but essentially these headphones weigh 391 grams and each one of the drivers is 71 grams. So that's 142 grams taken up right there in these bad boys. Now, some of the specs that really got me excited about these headphones is they have an impedance of 30 ohms and they go down to 4 hertz, which is brain rattling sort of stuff. So I'm really excited to test that. And lastly, I think the thing that's most interesting about these headphones for most people is the fact that they have those Rinaro Isodynamic hybrid array MZ4 drivers. That's a hell of a mouthful. What exactly does it mean? Well, it means a lot of things. There's a lot going on in these drivers, and we will talk about that more in depth in another video. But something I can talk about in this video are these very interesting little gaps here, or these little shaped holes on either side of these drivers. These are closed back headphones, but Meze have implemented what they're calling Phase X technology, and there's something to do with the way that these holes integrate with the air pressure that's supposed to create a more spatially consistent and accurate sound. So in my head at least, that reads as if these are supposed to sound a little bit more like open back headphones despite the fact that they're closed back. At least in theory, to me, that's how that reads. So there's only one thing left to do. It's not a real first impressions video unless I actually get some first impressions. So I think it's time I actually sat down and had to listen to these Lyric headphones for the first time. So today, I'm going to be sticking with that portable theme. I'm going to be using just the standard cables, and as seen in our Meze Classics video, I'm going to be using the Earman Sparrow. This is a really nice DAC. Again, offers balanced output as well as a traditional 3.5. It's just a really good value proposition, and I'm quite familiar with how the Meze Classics sound through this particular little USB DAC. So I'm looking forward to hearing how it goes with these guys here, because again, these are being pitched as a portable headphone that you can run off pretty much anything. So it's time to really put that to the test and see how the experience actually is. Yeah, right, okay, that is not what I was expecting. Oh boy. Okay, well that was a lot to unpack. If I was doing a blind test and I was given those headphones and I wasn't told they were Meze's, I wouldn't have picked it. This is a very different sound from Meze. This is a much more linear, much more direct, much more authentic feeling sound. Which is a good thing, but it's definitely thrown me off because I'm so used to Meze's what I'll describe as a very comfy sound. It's an easy sound, and what I just experienced still had a degree of that, but there was so much more detail and so much more space between the instruments, and it felt so much more spacious in terms of width than I'm used to. Yeah, wow. Now, I would like to quickly mention that I've just off camera tested the Liric with quite a few different headphone DACs. The experience has been quite interesting. So I started with the Aurus. This is a fantastic headphone amplifier. The Meze Elites sound absolutely stunning through this, but for whatever reason, the Liric, while it was very rich in detail, it didn't have much low-end kick. There wasn't much going on there, which is kind of interesting. And immediately that told me, hey, these headphones, pairing is important. In the end, it's not that big a deal as you obviously can't fit the Aurus in your pocket. So I thought from then, maybe I'll just stick with the pocket-sized DACs for a while. I also tried the AudioQuest Dragonfly Cobalt, and again, much like the Aurus, it had fantastic detail retrieval, but that low end just wasn't there. So not a recommended pairing. Didn't try the red or the black, but that's something I can come back to at a later date. As I stated through the actual testing process, Earman Sparrow, great little DAC, absolutely love it. Paired up with the 99 Classics balance cable is an excellent upgrade for these headphones, much like it is with the 99 Classics themselves. It's not as big a jump as you get with those headphones, but using this cable with the Earman Sparrow, you definitely do feel a lot more space. That ambience that's in the recording situations, the tracks you listen to, definitely it feels a lot more open, which is kind of cool. So yeah, definitely recommend pairing up these two, and obviously very small footprint, great for the road. But lastly, right here, Chord Mojo, 100% my pick of the bunch. You get the best of the Earman Sparrow with the balanced headphone cable, so there's lots of detail retrieval, lots of bass, lots of kick. It just sounds really dynamic and fun. And yeah, it just, to my ears at least, this was the way to go out of everything I tried today. So a little bit bigger, obviously, a little bit harder to put in your pocket, but just wear baggy pants and you'll be fine. Yeah, Chord Mojo, 100% my choice of the batch today. But obviously we have access to heaps more headphone amplifiers, DACs, and obviously dedicated hi-fi amplifiers as well to test these out with, and I can't wait to get pairing and to let you know my findings. But first, I need to find my hat. If there's one thing I can say for the classic range, it's that the sound stays pretty consistent regardless of what your source is in terms of the DAC and headphone amp. But I have this sneaking suspicion that these headphones are going to be a little bit more of a chameleon, and I'm really curious to see how their sound changes when it's paired up with different DACs. I quite enjoyed my time there with the Earman Sparrow. It was very, like I said, detailed, and it still had that sweetness that I'd say the Sparrow, to me at least, generally carries across. But there was just so much more information there than I was used to. When some of that came through emotionally, like listening to End of the Affair by Laura Marling, that her vocals in particular in that just sounded amazing, and much like they've actually said, the sense of space of the recording, in terms of the actual recording space itself, the ambience, like you could feels like it's there, and you can kind of feel it around you while listening through these headphones in recordings like that. And listening to Death Grip's Hacker, I picked up on something I've never noticed before while listening. And I've listened to that song through some much more expensive combinations than the Sparrow and these Lyric headphones. So I guess that's saying something as well. It's going to take me a while to process this, is how I feel. That was incredibly impressive. But like I said, it's given me a lot to unpack, and it's given me a lot to research, because not only are there all the specifications that I glossed over in this video, but again, that synergy, I'm very curious about how these headphones pair up with other headphone DACs and headphone amplifiers. And it's a journey I think I'm going to have to go on for an in-depth video on these headphones. Like I said at the beginning, this is just the first impressions, and those literally were my first impressions. And impressed is the word. Impressed and curious just what I can accomplish with these headphones and just what I can do with the sound. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really looking forward to sharing my findings with you. So if you've enjoyed this video and you've found the information in it to be useful, please give us a like. If you have any questions or anything, leave a comment in the comment section below. You can hit us up on social media, or you can always visit our website, www.lenc.com.au, and you can hit the messages button there if you want to reach out. Now, you supporting these videos does allow us to make videos like this where we do test things and we can spend the time to really push them and to really get a thorough understanding of their sound signatures and their synergies. So thank you for all of your support. I live in my Meze classics, and this was such a left field experience. I have a lot of testing to do. Thank you as always for watching. Bye for now. Now, you could have been like all the other Mezes, you could have just been nice and easy going, but no, you had to go do your own thing. And now I'm gonna have to spend hours upon hours listening to you on a bunch of different gear. What a shame.